try that again. I used to know a Russian sound engineer and a Czech one too.
That's pretty funny.
Ron, great to see you.
Nice, good, very good to see you.
Good to see you drop up from Florida.
Yeah, it's a little cold up here for my liking.
How old are you? Introduce yourself.
I was born in '77. This is 22, so I'll be 45 this year.
Okay.
And trucking's all I've ever done.
Since when?
1995. Got my first one just about a week out of high school.
Okay, so how old were you then?
18.
18 years old. What was the first truck you bought?
It was a 1969 GMC Astro. Bought it from a farmer that I had worked in the summers for $1,500.
Okay. And what was the plan with the Astro?
Try and make money.
hauling what?
I had a flatbed at first.
Okay.
Did that for several years, running right around the Akron, Canton, Youngstown, Cleveland area, just local and state, and went into a reefer a few years later. Did not like that at all. Got back to a flatbed as soon as I possibly could.
Why didn't you like the reefer?
I don't like sitting around and waiting.
Okay.
And produce houses, that's what you do. Sit around and wait.
And wait to get loaded.
Yep. I can remember spending many full days sitting at a barn down in Florida or Georgia waiting on a load of watermelons. Did not like that at all.
Didn't pay good.
Not good enough to sit and wait.
Right. Why flatbed?
It pays better. It's a little challenging. You actually do something besides stare out a windshield.
True. And slam doors.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Okay. So you were raised in Ohio?
Yeah. I was born in Florida, but we moved to Ohio when I was just a little kid, so I grew up right there in Ohio. I was born in Florida, but we moved to Ohio when I was just a kid.
Okay.
And I grew up right there in the Akron, Canton, Youngstown area.
Okay.
Lived there until the late 90s. And basically, as soon as I could afford to and was a grown man, I moved my ass back to Florida because it was a little warmer.
You started up a fleet early on, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Had a fleet of trucks at one time.
How many trucks?
Had up to 28 was the most we ever had.
Wow. All right. Self-funded?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why you back down to a one-man operation? What happened? Short story.
You get tired of babysitting is the best way to put it. It's hard to find a good driver these days. Everyone that you would want to work for you either has a union job that you can't compete with,
yep,
like UPS for example, or they own their own truck.
So good hands usually have started their own authority, and
they're not interested in working for someone else. They've already got their own stuff going on.
Right. Okay. What led you to Mercer?
When I decided to give up my own authority, I went through all the companies I had done business with in the past, and they were probably the best one, and I had a good feeling about them. Heck, they were my very first load when I was 18 years old was a brokered load from the Mercer agent in Youngstown, Ohio. And so they just were at the top of the list. I thought I'd give them a shot, and things worked out, so I stuck around.
Probably like me with Landstar, I had the choice about 7 years ago whether to go with them or Mercer or Snyder, or there was several business models that were available that allowed you to choose your own loads and take your own time off. And I guess I chose Landstar for that reason. I guess Mercer's about the same as Landstar.
They let you do anything you want to do.
Right.
You know, you want to work for 2 weeks, take 2 weeks off, they don't care. You want to work 1 week, take 3 weeks off, they don't care.
Just so long as the bills are paid in between.
As long as you don't owe them money. Don't call them crying about money if you're not willing to work. But other than that, they let you do your own thing.
Gotcha. So what did you want to be when you were growing up?
An engineer.
What kind of engineer?
Mechanical engineer.
What's a mechanical engineer?
They build things.
What got you interested in that idea?
I liked building things.
Okay.
And I was good at math and good at science.
Yep.
So that was just a logical step. Everything, you can build car engines, or you could build the Mars rover.
True.
You know, that's all mechanical engineering.
Yeah, what Americans do, or what people do in general, sometimes amazes the
does.
hell out of me. So what broke you from the mechanical engineering into driving a truck?
The truck was supposed to pay for college. I was trying to do college part-time and trucking, and after a few years of college, I realized that mechanical engineers didn't make any more money than I was making driving a truck.
What was the pay range for mechanical engineers at that time?
At that time, starting in the low 30s.
Oh, no way.
And that was in like 97, 98.
Okay.
You know, I was offered an internship with Honda, and it was like 17,000, but that was only as an internship, of course.
Okay.
But you know, they're like, if they like you after a year, they'll keep you and hire you on, starting at 36,000. I was like, man, I made 36,000 last summer driving a truck. What do I want to do this?
Right. So you can see the income potential from driving a dumb truck.
Right.
Being a dumb truck driver like we are.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you stick with it 20 years, you obviously can make more money as an engineer, but
yeah,
it's been a good life, though. I can't complain about the choices I made.
No. When did you get married? How old were you?
Pretty young.
Okay.
Pretty young.
You got how many children?
We have 4.
4 children?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Been married how many years?
25.
25 years, and your wife has been along the ride for the truck driving side of it,
The whole
obviously.
time.
Whole time. How does she see things?
She likes it.
Okay.
You know, it keeps me away from her. When she gets pissed off at me, she can send me out on the road, go take, get out of the house for a little while.
Like daddy's pad when mama is mad,
Yeah.
kind of thing?
No, it's tough being gone a lot. It's tough on both of us, But
How old are your children?
23, 13, 6,
6
and 25.
and 25.
Yeah.
Okay. All doing well?
All doing well.
Okay. Any of them regret the time that Dad's been away from the house, or do they spend time in the truck at all? You taking them on trips?
No, we never did do that. Not anything long. Always wanted to, just scheduling never worked out. Wasn't willing to pull them out of school for a week to go see something.
Right.
And in the summer times, when they were off school, I just wanted to stay home with them. We never really did. Go fishing with the kids is more fun than traveling across the country with the kids.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So let's talk about this rig here. It's an N14.
Yes, sir.
You've had a few issues with it lately.
Oh man, last year was rough.
Let's get into it.
Let's see.
How many miles on the truck?
1.4 million, just
Okay.
over.
How many miles on the engine before you had to
1.4 million.
Okay, so the first rebuild you had
First
to do
rebuild on
an
this engine.
N14
Yes.
at 1.4 million miles.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, what happened?
Well, found some coolant in the oil pan in March. Decided, well, if I'm going to have to change that's obviously a head gasket. If you ever find oil or coolant in the oil, it's a head gasket 99 times out of 100.
Okay.
But if I'm pulling the heads off, we're going to go ahead and rebuild it, because that's 90% of the work of rebuilding an engine is getting the heads off.
Yep.
Got into it, pulled the motor out of it, pulled it all apart, sent it to the machine shop to get line bored. It was just out of spec enough that they couldn't do that. So I had to find another engine block, send that to the machine shop to get line bored, after stripping it down, of course. Got it all back together, started putting everything in it, put it in the truck. This was August. Took 3 months to get all that done. Made it 10 days, and the brand new camshaft failed.
Why did the brand new camshaft fail?
You'd have to ask Cummins.
Okay.
Makes no sense to me why 2 lobes just worn away, but I would think it had something to do with the quality of the manufacturer, maybe the quality of the steel they were using.
Okay.
That'd be my best guess. So I tore it back apart in September and got a new camshaft. Some other things that bad camshaft had caused to fail, such as 3 bent push rods and 2 trashed cam follower boxes.
Yep.
In the process of doing that, 6 of my brand new injectors, 3 of them was leaking.
Great.
Three heads 2 of them had leaking injector cups.
Okay.
That was all brand new stuff, well, reman stuff from Cummins, genuine Cummins. And to last 10 days, I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed to say the least.
We yanked it all back apart again, redid the heads myself this time instead of trusting them. Got it back together, fired it up, and one of those injectors that I had just replaced was bad. Instead of leaking, it just wasn't firing at all. So I had to pull the top of the head back off and pull the rocker box off and put another, replace that one injector and put it back together and fire it up and worked great.
Have you done most of the work on the engines yourself over the years, or?
This was all myself. I haven't taken a truck to a shop in 15 years.
Okay.
Last time I got fed up at shops not doing things right, and the final straw was when I had them change a clutch once, and you resurface the flywheel and the rear main when you do a clutch job, since you got everything out.
Yep.
And the rear main leaked.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was,
Bad.
had to take it back. Now, of course, it was warranted, but that's another 4 days the truck's not working.
Bad experiences with shops is what's.
That was the final straw, and since then I've done everything myself.
How many days a week did you? How many days a week? How much did you work last year as an owner operator?
Well, last year was a bad example. The engine going down twice.
Okay.
I ran a total of 15,000 miles last year, and I think it was 18 days.
18 days total. The year before that?
Year before that, right at 6 months. That's kind of where my ballpark at this stage of my life is. I want to work about half the year.
Most of your stuff's paid off at the
Yes.
house?
Yes.
Okay, so there's only a need to work as much as you need to pay bills and keep
Right.
things going.
Keep the light bill on and food on the table is really my only bill.
So last year being a bad example, but the year before, if you worked 6 months, roughly what was your gross?
My gross on that 6 months was about 160.
Okay, for 6 months work.
Yeah.
Miles in there, if you remember?
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say less than 60,000.
Okay.
Because I usually only do about 2,500 a week, and that's on a hard week.
Yep.
I don't want to work 11 hours a day, 7 days a week.
No, which is why most of us go. Well, most single owner operators go into a pattern of Mercer, Landstar, Schneider, whatever, is just to kind of set your own schedule and make the amount of money that you need to without.
Generally, I just do a lot of short runs.
In Florida, and you're based in Florida, so Florida is one of those areas that people say, you can't make money in Florida. You got to come up to Georgia or Mississippi or get out of state. But you've found some contacts.
It's the same places everywhere. It's who do you know? Who have you proven yourself reliable to? We don't have a lot of manufacturing, but there's some manufacturing there, especially a lot of aeronautical, a lot of aircraft parts.
Out of Florida?
Out of Florida.
Okay. Didn't realize that.
I would say it's probably more out of Florida than anywhere else.
Well, there's NASA, JFK that I went to recently there, but there's like Boeing and
There's Boeing,
and
there's
Northrop Grumman and
GE jet engines, there's GE power plants. I mean, the transformers and stuff. There's Rolls-Royce jet engines come out of the Port of Tampa.
Yep.
Well, actually, it's the airport, not the airport, right down there by the port.
So would you say the key is to being a top operator rather than doing what you say you're going to do, have all the gear
you
available?
Prove yourself before they are willing to give you a $10 million engine. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's you need to be top of the line. If you've had freight claims on a cheap ass load of shingles, they're never going to put an engine on you that costs $10 million.
Right. Do you find some of that comes with the carrier's insurance or carrier's brand?
I would never have been able to get that stuff on my own.
Okay.
Rolls-Royce, for example, they don't want to deal with one small company. They want to deal with a Mercer or a Landstar type outfit that's got 30 years experience and 3,000 trucks.
And mega insurance
mega
liability.
Insurance, that's right.
Right, versus a one man operation.
Sir.
Okay. What do you normally haul? You do a lot of oversize?
I'd say about 30% of my loads are oversized.
Okay. Up to you do wide or tall or
Wide. I don't do tall. I'll leave that to the old man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
I
leave
don't
that to
mind.
him too.
Wide's fine. I'll leave the long stuff to you and the tall stuff to the old man.
I'll take the long stuff.
You know, there's nothing wrong with wide though. Everything from jet engines to plate steel to air conditioners. You know, a lot of wide aircraft wings. We've got without going into too many details for someone to try and steal my freight. There's some 16-foot stuff that comes out of the port of Tampa, staying right in Florida, that pays what most owner operators out here make all week. And
Okay.
I'm home by dinner time.
Right. Just cross town moves, basically.
Well, across the state, but Florida's pretty skinny. It's almost across town.
Gotcha. Does Mercer take care of your oversized permits, or
Yes,
do you?
they
Okay.
take care of those. They order them. You can. About the only involvement I have in that is if I've worked with a pilot car company in the past, I can request that they get the same one, and I'll request the routing.
Okay.
You know, if I've ran it before, you know, I'll tell them this is the way I want to go, and if I've never done it before, they've got people there to help you with that.
All right.
But yeah,
How long you been with Mercer?
just over 9 years.
It's a long time, actually.
In
Yeah.
trucking, it is.
And even though you've got a, what year is it?
This is a 2001, I believe. It's either a 2000 or 2001. I'd have to look at the door
You're
tag.
running electronic logs?
Yes, sir.
Is that a requirement of the company?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's just old or just new enough. It's required by law, but they require it no matter how old your truck is.
Okay. How do you find running e-logs with flatbed and oversize? Is it restrictive or?
99.99% of the time, not an issue.
Okay.
Every once in a while, you wish you could fudge a little bit,
Yep.
but
Is
those
what it
days
is.
are long gone, and
Yeah.
I don't want to see them come back. I much prefer it this way.
What do you mean?
Back when everybody was on paper, it was not uncommon for a customer to expect you to break those hours of service.
1,000 miles overnight?
That was the reefer business. You sit around, wait all day for a load. They still want you to be 1,000 miles by the next afternoon,
Right.
and you know
That's actually one thing I don't miss about the paper log
that's
deal.
right. And if you're not willing to do it, they'll give that load to someone that will.
Yep. There'll always be a
And
truck there that'll do
There's
what
always
you can't
somebody
do.
that's willing to break the law.
Typically, I run maybe 500 miles a day, if I'm running hard, but oversized because you're limited to the hours of daylight.
Right.
So how many hours or miles do you normally run in a day?
10 hours is a good day. I mean, it's going to vary. Some days you're going to have, like this one, I'm in a hurry to get to Chicago, so I'm going to run my full 11.
I'm tying your time up right now, aren't
That's
I?
right. But that's okay. I got just enough time for this.
Okay. So when are you going to be in Chicago?
Tomorrow.
Okay. What do you got on?
Got some steel coming out of the Midlothian, Texas.
Okay.
They're basically steel tubes. They're solid rods, I guess you would call it, about 4 inches thick.
Has to be a tarp load.
It had to be a tarp load.
Okay. And expected by what time tomorrow?
It was originally scheduled a little earlier, but I got it pushed back a couple hours because
Okay.
they took a little longer to load than we anticipated.
How many hours to load?
6.
6 hours for
Steel
flatbed
mill.
load.
That's what's the bad thing about steel mills.
Union place,
I'm not sure, but it wouldn't surprise me.
but things just weren't going productively.
It
like
was not a good day yesterday.
you didn't meet anybody around the place that had a hard hat helmet on that said, "I get shit done," like
No.
quickly. No.
No, there was no one like that.
Okay. All right.
The best thing I got yesterday is the guy that was in charge of the area, because you have to use their machine to tarp. When I pulled up there, when it was after strapping down, he looked at me and he said, "You know, it's not going to rain. If you want to go down the road to the truck stop to tarp this, it takes half the time when you don't got to piss around with all this fancy safety gear to keep you from falling off your trailer."
Right. And it's
So
not,
I went
not
10
too high
miles to
load
the truck
either.
stop and then
And
tarped
threw a tarp on there. Don't blame you.
It took me 15 minutes to tarp it at the truck stop. It had probably taken 2 hours to do it there, where you're not allowed up on the trailer.
With the
The
protective gear and the
Yeah,
harness.
and they had this cage that came up to the side of your trailer.
Yep, I've seen those.
You know, like a big ass net. So you'd be working, fighting with it, and
Where's the next reload out of Chicago?
On the north side of town, I'm picking up a load of insulation coming right back down here to Missouri,
Okay.
up in
Jeff City?
Jefferson City. That's
All right. And then where from there?
Have not decided yet,
Okay.
but it's been a couple weeks, so it'll be time to go home.
Well, you just got the truck on the road with the engine rebuilt. So what's the plan? Just run some money and
Yeah, get the bank back in a nice, happy area.
area, and then wait till summer and maybe fish a little.
Fish a little, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it's coming time. I need to be back home in April because that's when the fishing starts.
Okay. What do you fish for?
Oh, let's see. This time of year, just whatever's biting in the fresh water because it's fun with the kids.
Yep.
But come about March, April, when the tides change and everything comes up out of the Caribbean into the harbor, we're going out into the harbor.
Species out there.
Yeah.
How far do you live from the coast?
The boat ramp is about 4 minutes.
Okay, so you got your own boat.
Yes, sir.
Take the kids out fishing. Kids love fishing.
Kids absolutely adore it.
How about the wife?
Not particularly. She's scared of water.
Okay, what's her interest? Spending your money?
No, she's not bad at that. Her interest is, well, she's mom, number one.
Yep.
You know, and the kids. I mean, she's got her own interests, but she gardens a little and crafts a little, but mainly she's just mom.
She's just mom. And she can afford to be doing what you do.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good deal. How much time you got left?
Not much.
Okay. How long you owned it?
This one's 6 years.
Okay.
Or 5 years, one or the other.
What are we talking for trailer here?
This is a 2013 Great Dane.
2013 Great Dane.
It gets the job done, but it's nothing fancy.
Okay.
A little bit on the heavy side.
Steel wheels?
Steel wheels, yep. I know. Need to
Big
buy aluminum
boxes?
ones. Big boxes. Need to bring it down here empty and have you put a new floor in it for me. The
Do
wood's-
what now? Me put a new hoo-hoo?
New floor. The wood's starting to rot on me.
Just a couple of... Oh, you carry chains all the time?
Only because I was going to Utah and I wasn't sure where I was going to go from there.
Okay.
Those will come off as soon as I get back to the house.
Carry chain laws. Good looking.
Needs a bath in a bad way.
Wait a minute. We have a scripture here.
Just something I liked.
Okay. Well, thank you
Thank you.
very much.